Hi everyone, it's Angelica. How are you? So this video is going to be about strengthening your connection with God, and I'm going to give you different ways that you can do it, and also intertwine my story into it, so you know how I was able to establish a deeper bond with God. So I've always had a relationship with God ever since I was little, since I can first remember being about 3 years old and praying. Even though I didn't really go, my parents aren't religious or anything. You know how you go to Sunday school on Easter or whatever. Well, we must have gone once, and I saw Jesus's face in a Sunday school. It was in Sunday school, and I saw Jesus, and the teacher explained what Jesus was, and I really just lit up with happiness and joy because I wanted to be that way too. So full of love and peace and harmony, and just always gentle, kind, and loving. And I would always tell my daddy, Jesus says, be kind. And he would respond and say, he would listen. And he would start being kind for a short time till he forgot again. But I've always wanted and desired to be more like that. So in any religion, say, Buddhism, for instance, you want to try to emulate the characteristics of the person that's enlightened. Not so much go by the rules of the religion if they don't fit for you. However, the point of religion is to practice different techniques in order to attain the characteristics of whoever it is that you're looking up to, whether that be Buddha or Jesus or whoever else, whatever religion you practice. There's always something you're striving for. There's always something you're trying to be more like as you're trying to evolve in consciousness. So I've always really connected with Jesus and God because growing up, that's all I had access to. So I would make my parents drop me off at Sunday school, and I would oftentimes go alone. And I would join the youth group, and I would go on Wednesdays to just hear the stories about the Bible because I was really interested in it, and I would ask a lot of questions. And often I would find they didn't have the answers to some of my questions because the religion itself was limited in many ways. So I established my own relationship with God, but when I went through a lot of challenges in my childhood and teenage years and was starting to play out the patterning of my own family, I kind of lost my never lost my connection completely, but I started almost going down a track the same as my parents in a sense because of my pain. However, I met my twin in 2005, and when that happened, I went straight back into my spiritual path and work. So it wasn't very long I was disconnected, probably only 3 or 4 years, but that was long enough to where I had experienced drinking alcohol and things like that, not all the time, but even on the weekends, and it was a trait that my family has on both sides. So if I did drink just even once, it would end up really bad. Like I would lose everything. I don't know how to explain it. It was just, alcoholism runs in my family. So I did start to have some problems in regards to that. So I started working on myself again when I realized that there was a bigger mission, and it was for God. And I never liked my twin for the sole purpose of liking someone and being in a relationship with them just for my own needs. I felt inspired by the mission itself, by helping other people. And this gave me the motivation and inspiration to heal myself so that I could help others. So when I first started, I went through all the different things you could go through to learn about all the different religions and realize they all lead to the same place, which is higher love, and that's the purpose of them. Organized religion in and of itself is there to, create a membership and have you be involved and take your energy from you. So it's always best to take in the things that resonate with you and let go of the rest, because some of it is lies. And you probably already know that. However, I wanted to know everything about everything. So I studied various religions, and I was able to talk to all different kinds of beings. And I connected to my star family, and they taught me a lot about different kinds of energy work and different ways in which relationships are done there. Meaning to love one means to love all. Like, you can't really love and hate don't go together. So they taught me how you feel about someone is how they feel about you in all circumstances and things like this. These are all things, though, that are found in the Bible as well. But then I started only connecting with God, because as I felt I got quieter and quieter and quieter and more still within, I was able to go straight to the source, which is God. And I can only connect with God when I'm in that very, very calm state of meditation. I can connect with other beings all the time in my normal waking state, but to really hear the messages of God and to really establish a close relationship to where you're only going to God, it takes stillness for many years. And so as I was going through this last experience that I just went through, that you all probably know about if you saw my prior videos, it was just me and God. That's all I had. And it was good that it happened, so I could really, really establish that close connection with God, recognizing that no material thing and no person, no matter who, would ever be that foundation for me. So I had to go through so many challenging experiences above and beyond what normal people have gone through in order to have 100% faith and trust in where God was leading me. So when I'm around other people, I'm not really able to connect to God necessarily. I have to be alone, away from other people's thoughts, away from society, away from everything, to know what God is telling me individually. And God always has different messages for everyone. So you have to establish your own relationship with God. But every step of the way during this path, the only thing that saved me was God. And I was forced to let go and surrender and allow God to lead my life. And when I did that, things would work out for me. But when I didn't, even a little bit, things would fall apart, like really bad. So I had to learn it fast, and I had to learn to listen every time quickly, not get a message from God and think about it and process it. And I give it a little time so that I know how I'm going to work what God's telling me in the practical, physical realm, how to translate it in a sense to make it work here. But God has never failed me once. So even in the worst circumstances, when I did let go and allow God to lead the way, when I was calm, God always showed me exactly what I needed to see. and led me to where I needed to be. But this faith doesn't come naturally. This faith comes from getting messages from God, establishing a relationship, talking to God, asking God questions, and getting answers over a long period of time. For me, it took my whole life to get to this place where I only listen to God. I don't listen to anyone outside of me. I don't listen to anyone's opinion. I will take in ideas and think about them and process them and ask God about them. But I never... Hold on, there's a plane. But I never get advice outside of myself or God. So getting to this place is a wonderful, freeing experience, because you realize that everything here on earth is somewhat limited. It's very limited, actually. And what God's trying to bring through, He's bringing through each and every one of us to bring to others in the form of a mission, in the form of your spiritual purpose and mission. God is trying to speak through you to speak to others. And that's why I've always been interested in my twin flame path, for one, because helping this world through this process of evolution has always excited me. And I would never be in a relationship just for that, in the sake of itself. That doesn't really make sense to me necessarily. Maybe I'm just different. But I feel that on a higher level, everyone is one. And to be clingy or needy or selfish about anybody or anything, not giving it space or freedom and trying to control it, is not love. It's not at all love. It's codependency, and it means that you don't feel good enough in yourself or whole enough in yourself to heal yourself or to go to God and have God be your strong foundation and your place where you can always go. Once you have that established, you never go outside of yourself again. There's no one that can give you that love. It is coming from yourself, but everything is God, so it's coming from God. And it's easier for humans, I believe, to think of it as a relationship, because it just feels like comforting, you know. But God never will let you fall. God will take you to the very brink and make you kind of anxious and scared that you might fall, but you will always prevail. And some of the toughest times for me, where I freaked out, God always came through in the end, and always does. And God's like, you don't need to freak out. You're learning this again, you know? So I just wanted to share this video with you, that meditation, being quiet, asking God, and trusting yourself is the most important thing you can do for your life. And if you would like to comment about your relationship with God, I would love that. And your experience with meditation and being quiet and receiving answers. That would be great, because I love all your comments. And I'm so thankful that I get to be on YouTube again and share these messages with you, because they're so important. And it's healing the world. We're healing ourselves, we're healing the world, and we will be happy together. That's my dream. That's my greatest dream. All right, everybody, we'll have a magical day. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.